हाँ जी गुड ਕਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਦੇ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹਾਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਲੈ ਆਇਆ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਹੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹੇ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਲਾਂਗੇ ਕਰਾ ਲੈਣੇ ਜੀ
गुड मॉर्निंग जी
हाँ 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 हाँ
डाउन नहीं हुआ
कर लेने
कोई हुआ करता है आवाज है
हाँ जी हाँ जी
रिकॉर्डिंग करते थे फिर ट्रैफिक की आवाज करता है
रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे हैं मैं पता नहीं कि कितने बात जो करता है बारी
आवाज बड़ी होती है फिर इधर डिस्टर्बेंस बहुत आ जाती है
इतनी आवाज में ज्यादा
वो पीछे आ जाती है
ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਓਗੇ
माइक पे कैच करते हैं तो पखे की आवाज भी आ जाती है हां
ਅੱਛਾ ਪੱਖੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਣ ਦੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਇਹ ਚਲਾ
बैठना बोले
खुला करने जाओ
ऑडियो
खुला करने जाओ
बोलने की ऑफिस लो चल रहे ना कोई रिकॉर्डिंग है सेफ एनवायरनमेंट करनी है
इधर ना सकता है
लो जी चलाइए Here you can see the two tables. One is the students table and one is the grades table. Okay, now you can see that the students table contains the general information of a child, right? Like the first name, the last name, birth date, right? Gender, etc. Whereas if you take a look at the grades table, in the grades table we have the class, the grade, or some credit points to be given to a child, right? So that's why these two tables are different. Now if I have to go a little bit deeper into this, then you can see that there is one child, but that one child could give many tests, right? And he'll be getting many grades in that, right? Like English test is there, Hindi test is there, or some other subjects test is there, right? So one child is to be mapped to a number of other tests, right? So that is why these two tables should be related in some way. You can see a small line running between the students table and the grades table here, right? And here this SSN is the social security number. Now this social security number of a child is, it should be same as the social security number in the grades table. Okay, only then these two tables could be related. So one thing, it must be clear, and it's essential also, that you must have one field which is common in both the tables, right? And next thing to note in this is that in the students table, just next to this SSN, you can see a key symbol, right? A small key is made there. Can you see that? This key is the primary key of a table. Now what is a primary key? Primary key is such a field, it's just a normal field, okay? Like you have the first name, the last name, the date of birth, and so on. But the thing is that this primary key contains two different properties. One is that it should be unique, alright? For example, your admission number and your friend's admission number or your classmate's admission number, all are different, okay? All are unique. So one is this property, that it should be unique. Second property is that it cannot be null. Null means empty. Okay, so primary key contains two properties, not null and unique. Do remember these, children, okay? Alright, so let's proceed. So relationships are links that associate a field in one table with another field in another table In Excel, you store data in multiple tables. To bring that information together, you need to define relationship between the tables. Once you have defined the relationship between the tables, data from both the tables can be used by the query, form, or report. A relationship works by matching a field with the same name in both the tables. In most cases, these matching fields are the primary key from one table. Now, I told you what the meaning of a primary key. You can see here in this group, tools group, right? You can see the primary key and it is enabled in this image, right? So primary key means, again, let me remind you, primary key contains two properties of a field. That is, it should not be null and it should be unique. Null means empty, okay? So these matching fields are the primary key from one table that uniquely identifies each record in a table and a foreign key in another table. So whatever is the primary key in one table, in the other table it's known as a foreign key. Okay. So a foreign key is a value in one table that must match the primary key of the other table. Now to create a relationship, we make two tables, one with the name student table that holds the information about students, such as their roll number, their first name, last name, class, address, city, whatever, okay? And the other with the name marks table that holds the information about the students, roll number, percentage, and grade. Open one of them in the datasheet view. Click on the datasheet tab under the table, tools. Select the relationships button from the relationships group and then show the table window appears. Then select the required table and click on the add button. So basically we are adding, okay? The selected table will appear in a small window in the relationship. Likewise, add another table to the relationships window. Alright, and this is what you will get. You can activate the queries tab if your relationships are based on queries. Okay, but for now we are just clicking on the tables and adding the two tables. Okay. Click on the close button after adding tables. Here, students, you can see that in this relationships area we have the student and the mark table, right? Students table contains the roll number, father's name, class, marks, address, city, whereas in the mark table we have roll number, percentage, and grade. All right. Now, next thing is the primary key. See, the roll number is having a primary key next to that. Can you see that just under that arrow? Right. Similarly, in the marks table, the roll number is a primary key over there. So drag the primary key of the parent table. What is the parent table now? The students table. And drop it over the same field in the child's table. See what he is doing? Can you see that plus sign? Can you see that plus sign, children? Under that arrow, right? So in our example, the roll number is the primary key. Okay, so the edit relationship dialog box appears, and let us just view it clearly. You have two tables here. See, one is a table for the query, and the other one is the related table or the query, right? And you can see that under this table query, you have the student table being selected. Inside the student table, you have a roll number being selected, right? So that simply means the roll number of the student table, you have to relate it to the roll number of the marks table, right? And then we click on the create button. Now Access creates the relationship between the tables, right? This helps in joining two tables to form a larger table. Then it reduces the data redundancy and the data inconsistency. Now if you are thinking what is data redundancy, redundancy means the duplicacy, okay? That means one roll number of one child will be matched to the roll number in the marks table. So there will be no duplicates. Alright. So the line, can you see this line over here? The line linking the two tables will appear indicating that both the tables have been linked on the basis of the common field. What is the common field? Common field is the roll number. So we click on the save button after that and we close this. Open the linked table in the datasheet view. You click on open, and now you can see the plus sign under that plus symbol here, right? Plus symbol before the records indicate that this record is linked with another table. Now you want to see the other table, but you don't want to open the other table, right? You just want to see that this first person, for example, Rafiq, how many marks he has got or something, right? Then what to do? You can click on this plus sign and then come to know about the other table. Okay. Now, after relationship has been created between the two tables, can you see this line 1 and infinity here? This 1 indicates that this is a primary key. Can you see this primary key symbol, the key symbol next to the equipment ID? Right? And on the other side, you see this infinity sign, right? So we have 1 and infinity. So this thing is known as one-to-many relationship. Like I told you earlier, one child can give many tests. One child can give many tests. Okay, so that's why this is one-to-many relationship. Okay, so after the relationship has been created between the two tables, you must delete the relationship before you make modifications to the fields. Okay, on which the relationship is based definitely. To delete a relationship, you need to click on the line that connects the tables and then press the delete key. Alright, you can even right click and click on delete. Next we have a cross-tab query. A cross-tab query uses row headings and column headings so that you can see your data in terms of two categories at once. Okay, now let's see, creating a query. How to create a query? Access provides two ways to create the select queries. I told you earlier also, there are two ways, children. One is the query wizard. Can you see this red box over here? One is the query wizard and next is the query design. Query wizard indicates that this is a series of steps which help you in forming a query, right? If you need some type of a help, you want to go step by step, then you can make the use of this query wizard, okay? Or if you are well acquainted with this, then you know, of course, what the different things are, then you can go with the query design also. All right. One is the query wizard and the other is the query design. Now creating a query in the design view. In the query design, you click on this view and go to design view. Then open the database and click on the create tab. Click on query design because you want to create it yourself, okay? Now we have two tables here. The show table dialog box appears.